I have no words. I literally do not have any words on what in the world I just watched. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up front. I really enjoyed the match between Seth and The Fiend. I did enjoy it. What they presented was great. But the ending was unnecessary. The ending, what we got at the ending, was unnecessary. And this is why I've told people so many times. And if I haven't said it that much on here, then I'll say it now. I really do hate screwy finishes. I really hate those controversial endings where they end it by no contest or disqualification. I really hate when WWE go that direction if they don't know how to book a match. They back themselves into a corner here with The Fiend. He's undefeated, obviously. And clearly they want Seth as their champion. And right now, The Fiend, he looked like a monster at the end of all this. And I know some people disagree and they think The Fiend is buried or ruined already. I disagree. I don't think he's ruined. I think they made him... I feel like they still kept him strong. So, I don't think The Fiend is buried. I really don't. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that disagree. And honestly, I really don't care. Because at this point, fans are only saying it because, oh, they're angry. Oh, they hate WWE. I mean, come on. I mean, like, The Fiend looks strong. He was kicking out of literally everything. At the count of 1. He was kicking out at 1 at every single thing that Seth did. Multiple curb stomps. A frog splash through the table. A chair shot straight to the freaking face. He copped a chair shot straight to the face. And then he placed a chair on The Fiend's face. And then grabbed the ladder and smashed the ladder on the face of The Fiend. And he still kicked out at 1. No matter what Seth did, he kicked out at 1. That's looking strong. That is looking strong. That's not a burial. That's making The Fiend look like a monster. That's making him look like a freaking legit monster who can't go down. People are saying he looks like a complete loser. He looks completely weak. He's utterly weak. The Fiend is not special anymore. It's hilarious it's hilarious because the fans didn't get what they want. Because the fans didn't get what they want. Oh, we don't care about The Fiend anymore because we want him as Universal Champion. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered if he won or if he lost. If The Fiend won, you would have eventually did the exact same thing to Seth. You would have eventually gotten sick of him. You would have eventually gotten tired of seeing him. You would have eventually would have wanted to see someone beat him. Like every single person wanted Seth Rollins to be the Universal Champion around WrestleMania time. And now everybody is calling him Roman Reigns 2.0. Like, seriously, how much of a 180 do you guys pull? The 180 that you people pull on every single person that you get behind is utterly ridiculous. You've done the same thing with Becky. People do this with every single person that they want pushed. You pull a complete 180 and you no longer care. And don't give me the bullshit of, oh, it's bad booking. It's the same old excuse. Bad booking this, bad booking that. Yeah, I understand. That maybe it may have something to do with bad booking. But if you are a fan of that wrestler and you wanted that wrestler champion, you should be happy that you got what you wanted. But yes, and I will agree. I may not agree. I may hate this wrestling community sometimes. But I will agree. WWE completely ruined the Hell in a Cell with this ending. They completely ruined it. They completely ruined the diminish of the cell. And it's like disqualifications are now a thing inside these matches. And yes, I will agree. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. But at the end of the day, I may not like screwy finishes, but it seems like this was the only way. If they didn't want The Fiend to win the belt, this had to have been the only way they could have, you know, protected him and not have him lose. And I know the obvious answer is, oh, just let The Fiend win. That's all we asked for. The Fiend should win. That's the secondary option. Because the one thing I don't like about fans is that they always say the words, oh, you have another way to handle the scenario if you don't want to have The Fiend win. So what's the other scenario then? Because I hear this all the time from people. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, they could have done it a different way. If they didn't want The Fiend to win the match, they could have done it in a different way. And I'm like, well, what is that different way? Exactly, you don't have a different way. You just say that. The obvious different way is The Fiend winning. Do I think The Fiend should have won? Yes, I will agree. And I feel like Vince is really under pressure here. And I feel like Vince is under pressure. I feel like Vince just doesn't know what to do. And I feel, and again, no one gave a shit about this pay-per-view. Clearly, no one did. I'm going to straight up say, was anybody legitimately excited for Hell in a Cell? All week, people were saying, worst build, worst build, worst build. Why should I care about this pay-per-view? I was hearing people say it all week. Why should they care about this pay-per-view? And all of a sudden, this main event just makes people completely go off. And I'm like, you people never cared about this pay-per-view in the first place, so why are you angry? So yeah. So let's get on with it. They added in a ton of matches. The pre-show match was Lacey Evans versus Natalya for like the millionth time. Natalya got the win, so the score is now like, what, 2-2 now? The score's like 2-2 now between these two. And now apparently they're having another match again. And this time it's a last woman standing match. Really? Lacey Evans and Natalya in a last woman standing match? Is their feud really that personal that they need a last man standing match as the rubber match? Ridiculous. This feud should have been over ages ago. So the first match was Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. This was the best match of the night and the longest match of the night. Not even Seth and The Fiend were able to top this. The match goes for 21 minutes and 50 seconds. And the end result is... I don't want to say it was predictable. Because that's not true. I think the ending was something that a lot of people didn't expect. But in my opinion, I had a sinking feeling this is what they were going to do. And that was Becky Lynch retaining the Raw Women's Championship, tapping out Sasha Banks clean. I had a sinking feeling that this is what they were going to do. I just had that feeling. That feeling in my gut while I was watching this match. I was like, I've got a goddamn feeling they're going to make Sasha Banks lose this match. As what Sasha Banks said on her promo on Raw, or was it SmackDown, or whatever, whenever she did it. It was on Raw. It was on Raw, Patrick. She says, no man wins my match. Well, a man did win your match. And I don't think Hell in a Cell is your match, Sasha. I don't really think the Hell in a Cell is your match, considering that Charlotte beat you, and now Becky's beaten you. I guess we should be waiting until Sasha Banks versus Bayley inside a Hell in a Cell, and then Bayley's going to beat her in one. Seriously. Sasha Banks, I love Sasha, but I've got a feeling she's going to SmackDown. You can't convince this to me anymore. People like to say that, oh, they were promoting Becky on Fox. So what? That doesn't mean Becky is going to go to SmackDown. And no, Sasha Banks does not deserve a rematch before anybody thinks, oh, they should just have a rematch on Raw. No, Sasha doesn't deserve a rematch. I'm sorry to break the Sasha Banks fans' hearts, but Sasha doesn't deserve a rematch considering she tapped out clean. Sasha's moving to SmackDown. That's just the way I think they're doing it. We had Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. This was a fun match. Tornado tag. This was actually a fun match. And Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns got the win. And apparently Roman Reigns is teasing that, teased in a backstage interview or something. He said that he and Bryan are such a good team that they think they should go after the tag team championships. I don't know how I feel about that, but hey. It is what it is. Next we had my boy Randy Orton in a meaningless match with Ali. But I guess it was a good showing by Ali. I really did like how he countered the RKO with a handstand as Orton was bringing him down in the RKO. And then he landed on his hands and he leaped right back up. I will admit, that was really cool. I did like that. But at the end, Ali did eventually get caught with the 3 most destructive letters in sports entertainment. And the match was over. Next, we had the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, taking on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the champions. And we got new women's tag team champions, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And it seems like Asuka and Kairi Sane are turning heel. And I've got a smile on my face for the obvious reasons, because I think I love this idea. I love having Asuka and Kairi as a heel tag team. I think having them heels is possibly the best decision that WWE could have ever done. Sure, I know some people are going to say, oh, but Kairi Sane doesn't fit the role of a heel. So didn't Io. No one looked at Io Shirai as a heel, and look at her. Please, enough. Give this a chance. Yes, Asuka fits the role as a heel beautifully. Kairi Sane, maybe not so much, but we'll see how she goes. I think Kairi and Asuka are going to be fantastic heels. I think they're going to be a great heel team, and because I'm hearing a rumor going around that they're going to be retiring the women's tag team championships, and if they do decide to retire the championships with Asuka and Kairi Sane, I would have Kairi Sane turn on Asuka. I want Kairi to be like Io Shirai and have Asuka once again be a babyface. I think that's what they could do. Next up, we had the Viking Raiders, Ivan and Eric, and Braun Strowman take on the OC. Like who cares about this match? Match ends by disqualification. The Viking Raiders and Braun Strowman win by disqualification. We had the 24/7 Championship. Tamina Snuka becomes the brand new 24/7 Championship. Tamina Snuka has finally won her first championship in WWE. That's all I gotta say. Chad Gable takes on King Corbin, and apparently now the Shorty G name seems to be becoming a reality because Corbin calls him Shorty Gable, and now the commentators are calling him Shorty Gable. The ring announcer called him Shorty Gable, and the backstage interviewers called him Shorty Gable. So is this legit his name now? Shorty Gable? I really don't get this. I really don't understand this whatsoever. Charlotte and Bayley were heading to the ring, but as that was going on, we had another 24/7 segment, and R-Truth is now a 20-time 24/7 champion. Well, fun's over, ladies. Fun's over, ladies. You girls had your fun. It's right back to R-Truth. Didn't I tell ya? Didn't I freaking tell you they would put it right back on R-Truth when they're done with the women? Ridiculous. I love the 24/7 title, but this is getting ridiculous. R-Truth. This belt should just be renamed the R-Truth Championship. Literally. Carmella wasn't even given any time at all to work with that title. She had 2 reigns and that was it. You couldn't have Billie Kay have a turn. You couldn't have Peyton Royce win it. But no, right back to R-Truth. Thank you, WWE. I really wanted to see the women have some fun with that bloody thing. But speaking of the women, we had Charlotte and Bayley next. And Charlotte gets the win here. Charlotte, well-deserved win. I think she was the right person to win this match. I really don't care about Bayley. I'm just going to straight up say, I really just don't care about Bayley. I wanted her as a heel, but I just really do not care. I really do not care about Bayley. She's boring. Her title reign was boring. Just not a fan of Bayley. I'm just not a fan of her. She's not really playing the heel that I was expecting her to be. Hopefully this loss triggers Bayley's full-on heel turn. I'm tired of this hair tying thing. I'm sick of the hair tie. I'm sick of turning it up. Give me some more. I'm sick and tired of the flailing Bayley buddies. It's time for Bayley to become a full-fledged heel and completely change her look and change her gimmick. I'm getting very, very tired of it. Charlotte Flair's a full-blown babyface. So they better start turning Bayley heel. And then the main event was Seth Rollins and The Fiend. I did mention this at the start. Like I said, I really enjoyed their match. I thought their match was brilliant. It was great stuff. But the ending really killed the mood. And yeah, after 42 Hell in a Cell matches, they've killed it. After 42 Hell in a Cell matches, we now have a Hell in a Cell match that literally ended in disqualification. So, I really am confused. So I really am confused with this. I'm not gonna sit here and say WWE deserved the hate that they got. I understand why they had to do it, but yes, I do hate the screwy finishes. Yes, the Fiend should have won, but also at the same time, if they didn't want him to win, they had to pull something like this. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm 50-50. I am mad at WWE for completely ruining the Hell in a Cell and its prestige and its appeal by adding the disqualification rule in, which I think is pretty dumb. Well, people were saying it ended by disqualification, even though I read it and it said it ended by no contest. All that happened was that Seth Rollins grabbed a sledgehammer while the Fiend's head was on a ladder and a chair, and Seth bashed it. That was the only reason. Bashed the sledgehammer onto the Fiend's head with a chair and a ladder on top on his head, on the front of his face like this. And then the Fiend rose up. He put the man in the claw on Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins had blood coming out of his mouth. That was literally the ending. Yes, it's disappointing. Was this the worst pay-per-view ever? No. No, it wasn't. Of course it wasn't. It was definitely it was definitely one of the worst main event endings we've ever seen. That's about it. So anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, comment down below, and I'll see you all next time.